believe. Who is that played by? That was played by
Alright,
Fly, so it was in the off lane. And then that Naga was 4. No, the Naga was 1.
What? Oh, we have a Jakiro. That's exciting. It's like my favourite hero.
Really?
I really like it that you can just... The thing is, like, with this Jakiro and Darkseer, you can just constantly shove waves towards the side of Vici Gaming as well. Which kind of forces the TB to lane more than he would like to jungle. So I like that they picked this hero in Tide. I was calling for it a lot last series. It's not easy for Royal to deal with this Tide at the moment between their 3, 4, 5. Like, they don't really ganking very well. Kind of just exists in a lane, and they don't really touch him very well.
He'll be that tanky offlaner that Vici want, and we'll see what he's able to do. You know, are you looking more of the aura build here for Tide? Because I don't really see Blink on Tide too much anymore.
You can go 4 stuff as well. Like, it's fine. It's not a definite Tide build. It depends on the game. I really like this Tide Shaman dual lane as well, because you can get Gush on the Tide Hunter at level 1, and you just smack people so hard between the two of you. Like, your Shaman just hits for over 100 with the Gush damage. Sorry, the Gush minus armor. It's really strong. And especially when you have this Vengeful Spirit as well. Like, if you look at their rotating potential already, like, they have Gush, they have Wave of Terror, and they've got a Terror Blade and Shaman Wards. Like, they have really good objective taking so far.
It was similar to last game with the minus armor, where they had the Venge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're kind of doing a similar style. They just don't have the Medusa to do it this time.
It is going to be... It looks like it's going to be a 4 Shaman and a 5 Venge this time, though. So the Venge isn't going to have this, like, Vlad's drums build that we saw last game. It's just purely going to be a Wave of Terror and a swap. Or 2 swaps. But, yeah, it's more of like a... Less of that aura, you know, aura builder from the Venge just because of the less farm priority it's going to get this game. I don't mind this Ember pick too much. It's okay, but they do have catch to be able to deal with it. Like, this Shaman with the insta-hex can lock down this Ember. So it's not like they don't have answers to it.
And like we saw in the previous game, you have to time that Sleight of Fist right and place it right to avoid the magic missile.
Absolutely. You know, some games you just look at it and you're like, yeah, this is a free Ember game. Like, they don't have any lockdown. I can just play as aggressive on the map as I want and always jump back to my Remnant. But not this game.
5 seconds
I think they need... I also like it. I talked about this last game with the Darkseer with the Ember Spirit as well. Like, this Iron Shell just empowers the Ember Spirit's early game so much more. Makes him really, you know, output so much more damage. It'd be nice to see if they can get a good vacuum into a Nyx stun or an Ice Path off as well this game. I saw... Who was Liquid playing? I cast Liquid versus Alliance, I think it was a few days ago. And... Or did I watch it? I can't remember. But Nyx and Darkseer, it was Mind Control and GH got some amazing combos off between them with vacuums into Impales. It was really impressive to watch. So I'm hoping that Royal can do it this game as well.
Kind of similar to what we saw last game. Again, I keep comparing it, but when we saw Ori with the toss into the Impale, how many times did they pull that off? That was amazing. And this is a Lestrak that... I saw it one position for Royal Academy. And then it went Rod of Atos, first item.
The thing is, right, that this Ember and Lesh can both play mid, or they can both play safe lane as well. Like, so they don't see the enemy's mid hero, but it doesn't matter. They can just choose the matchup depending on what Vici pick now. And then the other one just plays in the safe lane with the Jakiro. It's not a, you know, not a big worry. They need some kind of... Yeah, I was going to say, they need some kind of like early tempo, I think. And they just take and this is even more minus armor as well. Like, they just play objectives really well here. They can play as 4, just let the Terrorblade farm. And they're going to push waves and push buildings so quickly this game, especially if the Dazzle builds a Necro book.
But didn't we see this the other day with Dazzle unable to do anything past like 12 minutes? Like,
yeah, S-Triple-T played it. It feels like a much better Dazzle game this time, though, where if you look at the push on the Vici gaming side, like, they can actually force objectives down. Like their heroes are a little bit squishy, apart from the Tide, which I would be a tiny bit worried about against this Ember Spirit. But and even the Nyx Assassin as well. I like Vici Gaming's draft. It depends if this TB can get off to a good start and how aggressive Royal can play in return. Like if this Darkseid takes over the Terrorblade's lane and shoves it in really hard and kind of takes over the enemy jungle, it might be difficult for Paparazzi to find the space that he needs. And he should have a decent lane on Flyby on this Darkseid. Especially with the Nyx Assassin with him in the lane. I like these drafts from both teams though. You can see how both of them can win the game.
Very pleased with how Flyby's transitioned into the off lane. You know, he used to be one of the better carries in China.
It's always difficult when you start in a new position though.
Yeah, like we saw in the last season with XXS, when he was originally the off lane, but then went to mid for IG. Was that last year? Yeah, that was last year, wasn't it?
It was
early
a long time ago now. Because he started playing off lane again now, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's playing off lane for Aster.
Yes, yeah.
What's the most important matchup you think between the two teams?
This game, I think. I think there's pretty clear matchups this game, right? So if Darkseid is top against the TB, he should stomp that lane on the Darkseid. Like this Dazzle should absolutely crush the Ember mid, in theory, and the Leshrac should absolutely crush the Tide in the bot lane. I think if Yang plays his Tide on the right, he should just go behind the tower and just pull the creep wave, like pull it into neutrals and things, and just force the Lesh to CS on the tower. At least then he can try and trade farm against the Lesh, because if he tries to just sit in lane against him, it's going to be really difficult for Yang. You have to just try and upset the creep equilibrium a little bit down here. Are they going to try lane on Vici up against the Starks here?
They might even fight during this bounty rune. They've got 4 heroes over top, the 2-man impale, but the Shadow Wave does so much damage to take out September.
Yeah, but Nyx got the bounty rune, so it was worth. That's just how it goes, you know? Get the bounty rune, it's worth it.
Is it though?
No, it's definitely not worth it, but not the end of the world. At least they get 3 bounty runes. And you force a Dazzle to take Shadow Wave at level 1 instead of Poison Touch, so your Ember's lane should be a little bit easier.
I'd like to know.
I say that he just takes like 200 damage. What, about bounty runes or first blood?
With the bounty rune in first blood, because that was first blood that was split between 4 heroes there in terms of experience, but they've got the bounty rune, so like, is it really that detrimental to give up that first blood?
It's not ideal, especially when you split it between 4 heroes as well. Like, they all got gold with that. Should be okay.
So. That's why I wish I knew the gold differential. But let's see bottom. Just a Leshrac, straight Leshrac versus Tide. A 1v1 lane.
Yeah, the Tide needs to make the most of these first few levels, because when the Lesh gets to like level 4 or level 5, it's basically going to be impossible for him to lane. It's going to be very difficult. So. And they are just tri-laning on Vici. This is interesting. It's tri-laning, it's tri-lane. Which I think definitely favors Royal.
Fade, taking a lot of damage, but turns around. Magic Missile, Ether Shock. The right click's coming in. September might just be dead again.
That's the one hero you don't want to die up in this top lane at the moment.
They're going for the Magic Missile. They want more. DDC. He's dead too. Paparazzi double kill. Oh my, oh my.
They did not respect the kill potential of the meta. It felt like the meta usage. It felt like when he pops his meta, you can't really put any kind of pressure on in this lane. So you have to be respectful of it. I like that Yang put 2 points in Kraken Showdown in this bot lane as well, just because like this Lesh doesn't really pressure him out of lane unless he uses spells, and his right clicks do no damage anyway. So this Tide basically doesn't take any damage from a Lesh right click anymore.
Darkseer, Flyby just sitting really low. He's inside the jungle. They've given up on that top lane. They're gonna give.
I'm not sure they've given up on it. I just think, yeah, they're just being more efficient with how they take the golden XP around the map. Like if you can get levels on both your Nyx and your Darkseer at the same time, then there's no reason not to.
Coming around behind though, DDC is behind the Shadow Shaman who gets hit by the Impale, but the damage again is pretty hefty. Spike Carapace will be used. Magic Missile comes in. Fade trying to survive for a little bit longer. They get Fade. They lose Sep. Paparazzi has to be careful as he's sitting low. He's only got the stick. Iron Shell hitting on 3 heroes there.
This Ember is getting bullied really hard in the mid lane as well as we expected, so the lanes are going pretty well for Vici at the moment. This Tide's doing a lot better than I thought he would done in the bot lane. And you see, like, it hits this level 4, level 5 part where he can't lane anymore, and he just starts cutting the creep wave. Like, this is something we mentioned before. It's so easy for him. Like, he's going to farm really efficiently on this Tide now.
So, which one of these teams is going to be the team that becomes, I'd say, mobile first? Like, whose mid is moving first? Who's trying to force fights early enough? Is this coming down to the Dazzle starting, early on?
Yeah, I think you expect the Vici side to group up earlier just because they want to kind of play this 4 protect 1 where the Terrorblade just farms in the jungle and whatnot, and they make moves with around the Dazzle and the Tide. I think when the Tide gets level 6 and they have Ravage up, they should be really strong on Vici.
They're under this tower. They've got the Impale, the Iron Shell once again. DY trying to run, and the Spike Carapace comes out as he gets hit by that Magic Missile. Flyby takes a little bit of damage, but what else do you have? You have Ether Shock in a moment, but you have to be pretty careful.
I think this Shaman TB have to be really careful here, though. With the double Iron Shell being available from Darkseer, they have this Impale. They can just dive tower again. They're going to go for this.
With creeps in on the tower, they surge September, and they go right by the Shadow Shaman looking for Paparazzi. But they bring just the Jakiro as well as the Nyx in here, and then they finally get the Impale. Paparazzi, he's just dead.
This Tide is playing so well. I'm really impressed with Yang. Like, look at his timings of his rotations. And he dodges the stun to get the bounty rune as well. Like, he's on 37 CS because of jungling as well at the same time, and then times his rotation to get both the bounty runes. Really well played.
Yeah, where Paparazzi dies over top, he's kind of succeeding over bottom. And then you could say the same, the Dazzle is doing quite well, but Darkseer was shackled. Ether Shock comes in. Fade gets the kill on a Flyby. A good return kill there as they had lost Paparazzi top. And then back over mid, Nyx Assassin, Spike Carapace stopping Ori, who is low on mana and needs to be careful.
Yeah, this Dazzle's gonna... Oh, he's actually going Midas on Dazzle. Okay. I don't mind this too much. If you're going to be playing really aggressive on the map, I quite like the Midas just because it allows you to keep up your farm speed. Especially when you know you've got this really greedy Terrorblade on your team. And then they get some stacks off while they're shrining as well. Oh, stack didn't go off. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Someone needs to come up and protect this TB up in the top lane right now, though. Because I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and glyph this creep wave on Royal, just to try and push in with the catapult.
They'll have the surge again as well as the stun if they want to go after this top. But bottom, they lost the Shrek to Yang, and did that cost Ravage? No, didn't even cost Ravage.
But yeah, the Venge just rotates in, and that's the physical damage that we talked about, though, with the Wave of Terror and the Gush. There's just so much minus armor.
I think Royal might need to be careful, but they've got the Jakiro. They spot the Shadow Shaman, the Impale lands, and Shaman might just lose his life. Just get the Hex out, and, well, unfortunately, getting spotted by DDC. He'll end up paying the price for it. Ember, though, taking a lot of damage over mid. Ori is just 2 levels ahead. This Ember is getting bullied.
This lane's like impossible to win though for the Ember. Like when the max poison touch comes out, he basically can't do anything anymore. Like look, he's going to take so much damage from this, and that's without resetting the poison touch.
Wow. And bottom again. Yang just harassing these heroes that have shown up.
Are they going to ravage this?
Yeah, they'll go for the ravage and give the kill to Paparazzi.
Yeah, I like that. I like it when Tides just use a ravage early on just to secure a kill. You know, you're probably not going to be, you know, using it anytime soon in a big team fight, so there's no reason to hold on to it. Just secure yourself something. And Dazzle's actually, he didn't go Midas. He went for Medallion instead, so feels like he probably wants to play more of an active role this game to make space for TB instead.
They have the vision on Flyby, but Fade needs to be careful. Flyby comes over. There's the Hex. Hoping for TPs. We'll finally get them. Though Shrek is here, so he, you know, if Ori comes in and poison touches him, he could just be dead.
This Tide Hunter is sitting on 1,700 gold. Yeah, I was going to say, what's he building? And he queues up a Helm of the Dom. I feel like you pick up this item when you feel like you're playing really well from in front, and you can kind of push your advantage even further. So if you can pick up something like a Centaur this game, it'd be really nice.
Yang playing perfect so far.
And Darks is actually building Arcanes before he goes Helm of the Dom, which I don't agree with either.
Surprised to see TB still top of the net worth. You know, he did struggle a little bit, but has really brought it back. Paparazzi, it seems like he always finds the farm that he needs.
Always. He's very good at that. We've seen that, you know, on Lunas, on Deuces, on TBs. And he did take the tower in the bot lane as well, remember. So, made that really good rotation. Has the 4 points in Conjure Image now as well. So he understood that he was going to have to come back to the jungle very quickly.
DDC hit with the magic missile and poison touch. How quick Ori just gets a kill there.
This Nyx has hit level 6 though, and he's got this break available for the Tide.
Oh, but misses the stun. The Split Earth comes in. Yang's still trying to run away.
There's an Ember trying to connect from the left as well.
DUI's coming around with Ori. So now that Shrek is in a lot of trouble and will just die. They could go after September too, but the two-man stun, DUI wins magic missile up. It's up in a second. He has stick charges in a second as well, but it won't even be necessary. Ori kills September.
This is exactly what we talked about though. You just play as 4, find kills on the map, and then you just run around while your Terrorblade's farming the jungle and pushing lanes out at the same time. You know, it's exactly how Vici played last game, it feels like as well, with around the Medusa. Like the rest of them just grouped up and tried to, you know, possibly take fights or just split the map up. Paparazzi just does his own thing all game and doesn't really get touched.
It's crazy the pressure they're putting on.
Yeah. I mean, he had a purge creep on that Tide Hunter before that fight as well, so just constant slows coming out onto the Nyx to stop him from running away.
I don't know how Paparazzi.
The thing is, though, like if you look at the farm, at the item difference between the two offlaners at the moment, like this Darkseid has Arcane Soul Ring, which is nice, but this Tide with the Helm of Dom's just doing so much more, and they're on similar net worths.
They are pressuring top. They should realize they're getting hit by Iron Shell. And Shadow Shaman swapped out, surviving. Spike Carapace was used, but they got the Sunder. Sleight of Fist. Another swap. September, one more shot. Fade gets the kill, so they do end up killing him off. But 897 gets the return kill onto the Shadow Shaman. The dual breath on a DY. The chase is on. The Ice Path is there. That's a second. And a double kill for 897. All the while, Yang's just pressuring the tier 2 bottom.
He's just chilling. He's having a great time. I feel like he couldn't really get into the fight anyway, because if he'd have, like, they don't have a TP, a tier 1 tower to TP to, so he couldn't really have got there with the Ravage anyway, so he might as well just shove this bot lane in instead.
Someone's got to come over and stop this. They'll send the Nyx in. They've got Ori with the Poison Touch away from the Nyx, and DDC, yeah, you TP'd in, and now you're just dead. Nice little shockwave in from Yang's dominated creep.
And this tower's gone. Oh,
Ember
maybe
comes
not.
in, 897, looking for the Impale, misses again. They got the break, the Ravage through, and now the Poison Touch, the Shadow Wave, destroying this Leshrac and Ember.
How do you deal... Like, the wave of terror came through with the gush, and then all of a sudden, this physical damage shadow wave just one-shots your Lesh. Like... He had about 700 HP or something, was that? And he just... That's how much damage he took.
He took 755 from the shadow wave alone. Oh my. They thought they were going to defend successfully. They just got blown up.
But like, how do they fight into this Ravage though? Like, if the Tide's there by himself, yeah, then yeah, maybe they kill him. But I think that Venge took them by surprise a little bit. I mean, they knew the Dazzle was there, but with the extra minus armor from the Venge, like you say, that Shadow Wave really packs a punch. Top lane.
Have a shallow grave on Dazzle, and Ori survives. And he just kills Lewis Shrek.
He's just playing with them.
He's 6-0-2.
Again, in the meantime, like, Paparazzi's still just free farming the jungle without any contest at all. Like, he's gone for this Drums Yasha build, so he attacks and farms so fast.
They're gonna go for the tier 1. Tied in between the tier 1 and the tier 2. September's here, but what do? You don't really find anything. They think about going in on a Yang, but that might be the wrong decision. He doesn't have Ravage for another 50 seconds, but still. The team is here for Vici, and you do not want to touch that again. BKB for Paparazzi early on. Yasha into the BKB.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when he gets this... Normally I would say, oh, maybe he goes for the Manta first and is a little bit greedy, but if he gets this BKB, it feels very much like Game 2 of last series, where they're going to hit this timing at like 20-25 minutes with the BKB on the TB, and they can just group up as 5 and go. We talked about how they have really good Roche taking potential, you know, good tower taking potential with the Shaman as well. And they've got to find the Lesh.
Well, Shrek is dead again. For the 5th time.
Do they even need the BKB on the TB? Can they just go?
Do they even need this game to go on
They
another
dusted
5
the
minutes?
Nyx.
They dust the Nyx, they get the stun,
It's a
magic
vac
missile,
ban.
and he's dead. This tier 2 is
Oh,
gonna
they
fall
had
too.
They didn't even have a sentry down. They just knew. I don't know why I'm surprised they're playing so well. Like, they just won a major. Why are we like? Why are we shocked? They have Serpent Ward still. They're just going to do it. Like, how do you defend this?
15 minutes and a tier 3 is gone. And they still have meta for a couple more seconds, but they'll probably just, wall drop down. It'll help take out the
Serpent Wards. You got to hit the rain. You got to hit the range racks there with the Serpent Wards. What's that about? That unhealable damage on the racks. Come on.
Or try to deny your own Serpent Wards.
Yeah, that as well.
7,000 net worth lead 15 minutes in. This is so good for Vici. And it's
the same as last time. Like, it feels so methodical. Like, they're going through this checklist of what they need. And they're just finding these pickoffs and just turning them into objectives straight away. Like, if they take a fight around the Roche bit now, all it takes is a single pickoff onto someone, and they'll take that Roche within, like, 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds, just because of all their minus armor. This Tide's not even going for Blink or anything. He just builds these aura items to help them, you know, allow them to group up and push. He's going to go for that pipe up against the Lesh and the Darks here, which just negates so much of their damage.
See if he finishes the pipe, or because he's got Blink queued at the moment.
I would prefer to see him get the pipe first, I think, but maybe he feels like it's not like they're lacking on initiation though, because this Shaman's going to pick up a Blink soon. Yeah, he finishes the pipe. I like that. Good choice.
Where do you put the pressure on now from Vici? Because they're not going for Roche just yet. Are they just going to push out bottom all the way?
I think they're probably just waiting for meta to come back off cooldown again, which is just about to hit. So, yeah, and like you say, you really want to shove this bot lane in all the way before you go for the Roche, because it forces someone on Royal side to come and deal with it. So, which takes them away from the Roche bit. Yeah, exactly. You can either lose the Roche or lose your, tier 3 tower. Which one's it going to be? And the BKB is also about to come off the courier for Paparazzi. So he's about to get it on the courier. So they probably want to group up around that. Yeah, and he's going to start to run to the top side of the map now to play around the Roche pit while his illusion shoves in bot or something. Just really strong. Ty takes over an Alpha Wolf and just follows Paparazzi around with it. It's so like they know everything they want to do before it even happens.
They smoke into Roche, or smoke into a fight, then Roche? Because, to be quite honest, if Royal lose another fight and they get devastated 5-0 or something like that, do they even... do you just call GG? Like, are you that far out of the game? It feels like you're that far out of the game. September's under the nose of Paparazzi. The dust comes out. Spike Carapace, Impale. That hits onto Ori. Now they've got the vacuum wall on a 3, but the BKB's been popped by Paparazzi. Now the Ravage follows it up, but it's only on a 1. Or actually, it's on a 2. It also hit the Nyx Assassin. September, Spike Carapace, not going to matter. Fly by Sep, both dead. DDC, he goes down to the Shadow Wave. Triple kill for Paparazzi and yeah, GG.
Jeez. Like, the thing is, they didn't even use Serpent Wards for that fight either, so they would have had them available for a push. Like, I can't comprehend in my head how quickly they make these decisions and shot calls to be able to move so quickly around the map. Because we've both seen this happen in games before, right? And I'm sure you have, where it looks like a team wants to do something, and it takes them like 20, 30 seconds to kind of get everybody together to then rotate around. Like sometimes it feels like there's just dead heroes on the map waiting for somebody else. The way we've watched Vici play today, it feels like everybody knows exactly what's supposed to be happening. Like they're all on the same page. Like they go for these smokes, they're instantly going as 4 heroes, and like everybody's just got there all together. Like there's no hero just waiting around for anybody else. Like everything's it's so immaculately planned out. It's so nice to watch, and you just have to respect it, honestly.
Yeah, Vici making a statement with that win, and Yang 1-0-10, Ori 7-0-5, Paparazzi out of the 3 cores, he had 1 death, 8-1-4, and Vici come out of the gates in this lower bracket final, guns blazing. That was an overwhelming and dominating win, 19 minutes in. It's not as quick as the 9-minute win that happened in the South American region, but that was fast. And Vici... yeah.
How did I not see that game? That's what I want to know.
Because it was over so fast. That's why you missed
true.
it. And so Vici take game 1, and you know, a little bit longer than a blink. They take it, and we'll be on to game 2, and hopefully a little bit shorter than a blink. See you guys there. We're your casters, B-Cop and MoFarah. We'll be right back.